Well, welcome back to the Shankly sessions. This is your instant match reaction. Liverpool 2, Man City 2. Goals from Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. Dean, what's your thoughts?
Initial reaction is disappointed. Thought we were piss poor the first half. Looked like we were overawed by the fact we were playing Pep Guardiola's Superman City. Didn't know what the fuck was going on. We looked like a non-league team playing against the champions of the world in an FA Cup game. A lot of players need questions asked of them after the first half performances. Second half, obviously, we woke up a small bit. Two brilliant goals. Mo Salah's goal. Another week where I'm saying I'm running out of superlatives for the guy. But twice going ahead and twice getting caught back. City just turning it up that little bit to get the goals back. So yeah, overall reaction is disappointment because I think we should be winning those games at home regardless of who we're playing.
Yeah, I thought the first half was very disjointed. We just kept on giving the ball away so easy. Couldn't pass the ball. No same pattern of play, no structure, not the way we would expect, And I think you're right. We were a little bit standoffish and a bit overawed by the occasion. I think in the second half, we definitely came alive. I think that ball from Mo Salah for Sadio Mane's goal was exquisite. And then his own goal, what a ball from Curtis Jones. Unbelievable. How can we say anything else about the boy Curtis Jones? Incredible.
Come here. Even with the ball from Curtis Jones, Niall, the work that Mo had to do to get out and get that torn Laporte inside out. So I think, good delivery in from Curtis Jones, still into a tight space. That goal is just 100% all about Mo Salah, not the person that gave him the ball. To turn the three of them inside out with the strength to hold off the three of them, and then turn Laporte inside out, and with that deadly accuracy just inside the post to turn it into the goal. I'll say it again. Tell me another player in the world that's better than Mo Salah at this current time. Even having an off game, pops up another goal and assist. Seems to be the thing week in, week out. Even when he has a bad game, he's doing the business.
Yeah, great to see Mane back though, getting his goal the way he did as well. Look more like the Sadio Mane that we know. But Fabinho, that chance for Fabinho, you have to take that, don't you? That has to go in. So disappointing.
It is, and it's we said at the last week's performance that you get those bad performances out of the way. I just think if we'd have turned up for 90 minutes today, we could easily have won that game. City were in full flow self today, and I think that was down to us that they got something out of the game. I do think though that when we scored, that they kind of had that in them. The way we used to be when we went to goal down, they turned the switch on instinctively. But the Fabinho chance, and another day that he hits that first time and it goes in. It was one of them slow moments that I think everybody on the pitch, everyone in the stands, just slowly watched Cancelo getting across to block it. But I don't know, some bad decisions, and not necessarily the team selection or anything like that. Just I don't understand how we could turn up like that for the first 45 minutes today. I really don't. And the fans, again, I thought the place would have been electrifying today.
So quiet first half, wasn't it?
No atmosphere at all for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I was watching the buses arrive into Anfield, and it was like, Liverpool, and I'm like, this is like a fucking Champions League final. Where the fuck have the fans gone? But yeah, when we played Atletico Madrid on a Wednesday night in the Champions League, the place is going to be like a Champions League final. It just beyond measure to me how these fans go into games and just sit there and say absolutely fucking nothing in the biggest game of the season. Could come down to at the end of the season that those 2 points we dropped, or the 4 points we dropped against City and Chelsea, had a difference. You look how close the top of the table is now, and you get the feeling that that's the way it's going to be at the end of the league. You have to be winning your games at home, regardless of who we are playing. And it was down to ourselves today that we didn't win that game.
Yeah, I think, as you said, I think it was a game of two halves, really. I think in the first half, I think we were very lucky to go in at 0-0. Did you think so?
100%. 100%. If they got I said in the group chat, I said, if City had a score just before half-time, I think that would have been a cricket score today. I really do. I think that would have just knocked all of the life we had. We looked very leggy in the first half. It was almost as if that game against Porto was a real end-to-end dogfight for 90 minutes, and the winner was scored in the 95th, 96th minute. We beat Porto at a trot on Tuesday night, and yet for 45 minutes in the first half, we looked dead on our feet. I don't know, sometimes I scratch my head when I'm watching the team, and they genuinely break my heart sometimes.
Yeah, it's bewildering at times. That Foden goal was a poor goal, wasn't it, really? I mean, it was a great passage of play from them. But I mean, as you said, we were talking on Messenger, stuff like that. It was very easy, wasn't it?
Very, very easy. Don't get me wrong. Fantastic finish. The only place he could put that to score was where he put it. Outstanding talent. But yeah, you could see it when you're watching on TV. I'd imagine there's a lot of fans in the ground were watching the build up and saying, switch out here. Someone drop across. Before you know, he has the ball at his feet. It's in the back of the net, and you're saying to yourself, Jesus Christ, we're getting back to the stage where if we score two, or if you score two, we have to score three. You know, where's that? You know, the start of the season, we're relatively strong in defence, and the last two games, we've switched off completely. We're missing something there. And I did say that things like that happening now, it allows Virgil and it allows Joel and Trent and Robbo to realise that, you know, we are human, that mistakes are being made. But the two goals were very, very easy. Very, very easy. I thought we just had momentary lapse in concentrations, but it was so obvious watching the build-up on the telly that where it was going. And you're screaming at the telly saying, someone drop out to Foden, or someone sit back with Kevin De Bruyne. Before you know, it's in the net.
Yeah. I suppose the disappointing thing is that when you do get the lead, to not be able to hold that lead and keep it going and all, you know, was very, very disappointing. And we did it with Brentford as well. And we also now have done it with Man City. And I just think I think we need to get back to that sort of cleverness again, don't we? That when we do take the lead, that we shut stuff down, that we hang on to the ball. It seems that when we take a lead at the moment, there's an urgency to want more and more and more. So the slowing things down, killing the game off a little bit in terms of possession and stuff like that. Again, once we went 2-1 up, we were surrendering possession, something terrible, you know. Even though when you look at the stats, it's quite even in terms of the stats. But it didn't feel like an even type of game. Sure, it didn't, especially with that first 45.
No, if City had won that game 3-2 or 4-2, I don't think you'd had any complaints. They deserved more out of the game than what they got, in my opinion. You know, two moments of magic for their goals, but the Fabinho miss was City just the whole, after about 10 minutes in the first half, they were just turning the knife, and you're saying to yourself, it's only a matter of time. It's beyond me how we got to half-time still level, you know, and then the second half starts, and obviously Klopp has gone in, he shoved a rocket up a lot of people's arses, and he's told them to look, we got to get, like, you could see him, there was that time where the camera went to him and he shouts, you got to be brave. You know, we did. There were moments in the second half where we were brave, but what you said there about we got to get back to that cleverness, and then after we score goals, it's almost as if we need to get another goal, whereas you take 5 or 10 minutes, you set your shape up again, you control your breathing again, you let the heart rate drop, and then you build again. Whereas where we were going for the kill, City knew exactly what to do. i.e. we scored 2 goals, and then soon after they got back into the game immediately. So you got to be looking at them and saying, right, well, they've made mistakes, they've allowed us into the game, but look what they've done to get back into the game. Whereas we're scoring a goal, and it's almost as if we're scoring a goal and we're still a goal down, and it's like, right, we have to go immediately again. And I think that's across the whole, other than Alisson, I think that's the back four, the middle three, and the front three. They got to be looking at, it's not the first time this season, they got to be looking at and saying, right, we've just scored, let us control the tempo, let them have the ball, don't stand off too much, and let's get our breathing back, and then let's build after 5 or 10 minutes. If the opportunity arises in the meantime, well and good, please God, we'll take it. But again, sloppy in some of the chances we get, but very, very sloppy in what you were saying about scoring goals and thinking that we need to get straight back into it again. Whereas if you're taking the lead, you got to just reset your shape and let them try and break you down.
Yeah, I just think more even us just holding on to possession and being clever about it. We don't have to probe forward all the time. We don't have to hit Salah all the time. We can play the ball around the back, play it into midfield, play it into back, slow the tempo of the game down instead of creating this rhythm that gives the opposition an opportunity to get stuck in, and then we squander possession so easy. And the next thing, City are back in the game again. And we know when City pick up the ball, they're going to attack. They're going to go front to back real quick. So with the onus is on us when we're 2-1 up to actually hold possession and kill the game down a bit, dampen the tempo down a little bit, let them work hard to get the ball while we hang on to it. Trying these passes sometimes that we do where we're going up the centre and stuff like that, they just get intercepted and all. It's easy possession, isn't it, to give away and stuff like that. And I just think if we could just do a little bit more than that, we might be able to see games out a little bit better. But look, I suppose we have to look at it this way. We're joint top of the league with 15 points. Arguably it could have been 17, 18, 19, whatever it is. But we're joint top of the league. So we can't be too upset at this stage, can we?
In fact, we're not, Niall. We're a point behind Chelsea.
Sorry, we're a point behind Chelsea. Sorry, my mistake. I'm just seeing it updating there now.
Your mistake indeed, Mugatu.
No problem at all. So we're a point behind Chelsea. I suppose looking at the first 7 games leading into the international break, we probably would have taken that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, well, the point we dropped were against City and Chelsea. The Brentford game, you've seen that what they done today against West Ham as well. That's wasn't a free performance by Brentford, but like it's one of those games where you don't turn up, you don't take your chances, and these things happen. Same thing has happened with Man City against Southampton. You kind of in the over the course of the 7 games, where we are, I think is where we deserve to be. We could easily have went at Chelsea. The fans could have easily lifted the atmosphere there. Same again today. Looking at the way City play today, they could easily have beat us as well. So you kind of have to be happy to take the point as well. But I just think it's frustrating that we've been at home for those 2 games and we could have turned the screw on Chelsea. And had we turned up for 90 minutes today and not 45 minutes, or even fits and starts in the second half, we could easily have beat Man City today. So yeah, I'll take it where we are. There's a few games coming up now. Watford will be over there for the Brighton game. The Man City or the Man United game is coming up on the 24th, the week before the Brighton game. So, we've 2 massive away games coming up. The Watford game, new manager, I'd imagine will be in by the time that game comes around. So usually as is, when a new manager comes in, straight away you see that change in fortunes, the team starts performing. So, we'll have to be on our toes for that. Plus we do owe them for that hiding they gave us there 3-1 last time around. And then the Man United game, the pressure starting to build on Ole, and going to Old Trafford, we've always talked about that mental block that Liverpool have going to Old Trafford. We just can't seem to win there. So is that going to be a case of that's the game where Ole gets the fans back on his side with a massive 3-pointer if we go and really put the nail into the coffin for him and his Man United career, and then we have that Brighton. So, maybe we do need this break to come up now. Maybe we do need to look back and say, right, this is what we've done wrong, this is what we've done right, but we could be doing things better. Clearly, we could be doing things better, especially defensively. 5 goals conceded in our last 2 league games. But yeah, we'll take it where we are. As I said, there's some games coming up now after the international break. We've kind of got the 2 main title rivals out of the way now. Could easily have got 6 points, but we got 2. But they could easily have got 6 points and only got 2. So onwards and upwards. Let's not be too negative about it. We're still unbeaten in the league. Still haven't lost a game since Klopp got his laser eye surgery, and Mo Salah is the best player on the planet.
Yeah, and I think the other side of it as well is that, we sort of went into this league campaign thinking we were going to be the 4th cog in a title race wheel, where we're certainly not the 4th cog. We're bang slam right in the middle of this title race without a shadow of a doubt. And I think there's a lot of good we can take from the first 7 games. And as you said, there's a few bits to tighten up on, but I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives at this stage. 2nd in the league, and plenty to work on. Still haven't hit our top form at this stage.
Trent and Thiago to come back as well. And you know, one thing I will say again is a front three, front four aren't necessarily playing very, very well. But Mo Salah is top goal scorer in the league. Sadio seems to be getting that little bit, of fire back in him. Bobby coming back from injury. Jota, we know he's going to pick up goals. The lads had a rare off day. I thought Jordan Henderson was absolutely pony today. I'd rather watch an omnibus of Fair City than watch Jordan Henderson do that week in, week out, if I'm honest. Remind me of why we absolutely despised the guy before that Southampton game. Everyone looked overawed in the first half. We don't need to see that again. I know it's so cliche now that we are Liverpool, this means more, but the first half today was really, really disjointed, and it made me think back to years ago when we were coming up against the Man United, the dominating Man United teams, the dominating Arsenal teams, and you were kind of fearful of how many goals you were going to concede. Whereas up until today, we were going out, we were fully confident, we were going out and scoring goals for fun. Teams were worried about how many we were going to score. But I don't know, it was like Pep's team turned up today. We were at home, we had a full Anfield, and some of the lads you could see them in a matter of 10 minutes that they were kind of like, if we go at these and they do what they done to Chelsea, they could give us a right tonking here. And, as I said, fits and starts in the second half. We were ahead twice in the game, and I just think had we turned up and the fans had been what I thought they would have been today for 90 minutes, I think we could have beat Man City today. So the fans need to look at themselves again, because it's becoming a regular occurrence now.
Yeah, I suppose in these games there's nothing wrong with being patient so long as you're showing a bit of control. It's different than if you look like you're being patient but you're sporadic and all over the place. But yeah, look, we'll go again after the international break anyway, no doubt about it. And it remains to be seen how this whole title race is going to unfold. But so far, decent is the word that I would use so far.
Yeah, for the neutral, it's very, very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So until next time, this has been your Shankly Sessions on the Upper Tier on the Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube, Spotify for audio versions of the show, Liverpool 2, Man City 2. Till next time, Dino.
Adios. Mo Salah is the best player in the world.